So the changeover should be done in just a couple of seconds. And we are back live. So welcome to stint number 8. Oh, how the time has flown. And we do have some double stinters, so we're going to be getting them over here as quickly as possible. And I think Snalf is going to take a well-deserved dinner break.
I am, but I gotta make sure that I get to spectate first. I don't, unless, will it let me spectate once the race has begun?
Yeah, it should.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah, I'm going to get a burger.
Good plan. So you're going to hear a lot of furious typing going on here as we progress through this stint. I have to do 6,000 administrative duties in addition to streaming. Super fun stuff. So we're going to try to get all of that done as quickly as is humanly possible. And if you're just joining us, this is stint number 8 of 12 for TORA's Le Mans Revisite, which simply means revisited, but in French. So don't be afraid to say hello. If you're watching us on Twitch, TUS Extreme, the positions will be figured out very shortly. We're just trying to get some data sorted up. Excuse me. So we're just waiting a little bit here. For some people to get set up. And also hearing that one of the LMP esports cars has retired. That would be LMP esports Auzen Z2, I believe. Yep, 2. So that is unfortunate. Hate to see that happen. Lots of prep goes into this, and you hate to see it just go to nothing. So, Lobby B will be down 1 car for each additional stint now. I'm assuming that's going to be because of a missed series of stints going back to the beginning of the race. So unlucky for LMP. And I think we're only missing 1 more driver in this lobby. Try to figure out who that is at this time. Not sure who it is that we're missing here. There's only 1 person. I think it's one of the SS. One of the LMP1 drivers is not here. No, Aldecar? No, he's here. Missing. And we now have accurate results through the end of Stint 7. So your leaders on the road are Elusive Peugeot Sport PlayStation. In second position is Alien Motorsport Astro. And in third, SFM Competizione. In GT, it's SVR Purple ahead of JSR X Jode and our boy Zoom, with AMR and a spare completing the podium. There's only 0.32 miles between first and second in GTE. In LMP1, between first and second, there are about 19 miles, so not quite as close. Absolute dominance from the ESV squad. Looks like we are approaching readiness in Lobby A, Stint 8, what you're currently watching now. Everybody is now here. We just need to get the grids sorted up and then load the track. So in this stint, we're going to have LMR Harmonic, LSEM The Butler, LZR Diablo, AMS GG Racing, TLR Eclipse, LSEM Aldocar, SSR Inc., Sauber Zoom, Williams RR, AMR Aqua, SSR Marshmallow, Turismo 83, LSEM Sir Lagalot, GRT Ballistic, Rockbow 25, SVR Incinerate, VTX Gashly, Zombie Gutkill, Hillbilly Texas, and SVR Spartan Fit. So that is who we are missing. Should be starting any second now. At this point now, I'm not sure at all what the delay is for. I think they just need to load the track and we should be all set. Looks like everyone's here, and it looks like the grid is ordered, I think. Alright, we're loading the track. Who's excited? Reasonably sure that the grid is now correct. If not, we do apologize. Looks like we've lost SSR Marshmallow. What a tragedy. So we'll get him back in here. Looks like we've also lost Hillbilly, so I'll get him back as well. You can almost think of these delays at the start of the stint as like the drivers needing a bathroom break or something. Just a small, unavoidable delay that's just simply a fact of life. Just waiting on them to get back in here. Alright, looks like everybody's back. So as soon as they are loaded up, we'll be returning to Circuit des Arts. Thank you for your continued patience, dear Twitch viewers. We're going to get rolling with stint number 8. Alright, as soon as LZR Diablo is readied up, we can get this show on the road, to use words that make sense. Alright, everybody's readied up. It is now time to start. Okay, and we are going to roll off following TLR Eclipse in the Tech Life Racing Audi R15 in the 4th position. Alright, remember they're going to be single file. .80 miles per hour, accelerate at the Dunlop Bridge. And it looks like we've got overcast now, so we've gone from inky blackness to the obscuring of the sun. It's a little bit different. Okie dokie. It's that time. We're about to go live. LMR Harmonic leading the field from AMSGG Racing, LZR Diablo, and TLR Eclipse. And away we go! Horrible start for Diablo and Eclipse. The accordion did not work in their favor there. Back behind SSR Inc. right on the back of the TLR car with LSEM Aldecard looking to make a move early on. Back in the GT field. Oh, looks like SSR Inc. is actually going to make a move immediately on Eclipse and then promptly run off the track and lose the position. Back in the GTs, AMR Aqua running in the 3rd position, trailing Sauber Zoom and Williams Roadrunner, who seem to be also having issues on the first lap with the cold tires. GRT Ballistic in the RZM car just behind. Look for this guy to make some moves. He's the task car champion. But up at the front, Diablo is still in the 3rd position, right behind GG and Harmonic. Let's see if that Audi can use the straight line speed to get around some of those slower in a straight line Peugeots. You can see the absolutely enormous gap back to Eclipse that has already formed. It's probably going to remain that way for several laps here. These top 3 are going to start to check out. Harmonic from GG from Diablo. Bit of a mistake from the LZR driver, coming out of the 2nd ralentissimo, chicane in French. As he struggles to get control off the curb. Remember, Diablo's just coming off a night stint, so it's going to take him a little bit of time to reacclimate to what's going on. No further dramas at the back, except Butler has eclipsed Eclipse for 4th position. Cyberpunk car looking awesome, almost like it's wet, but digitally. Really cool effect. And in the GTs, it's still those 2 Astons, SVR Purple and JSR X Joda and our boy Zoom, who's in the car now. So we got Zoom chasing down Roadrunner, the Astons together the entire race. Going into Indianapolis for the first time. Both of them running a bit wide on the exit. And let's see how they do in Arnage. A little bit of a touch from Zoom on the back of Roadrunner. Nothing malicious, just cold tires. And they have opened up on Ballistic, who has gotten around AMR Aqua. Not really surprising. ballistic, objectively the faster driver. Lots of experience under the German's belt. Watch the line into the Porsche curb. See how he's a little bit wider there? Now he's going to get a much nicer line into the second part of this. It's going to allow him to carry a little bit more apex speed, use a little bit more of the curb, and scamper away. So top four beginning to separate from the rest of the GTE pack. Up out the front, still the same three, no change. And let's go back in the pack. Rockbo making up about 5 spots so far. He's not playing. Dispatching Marshmallow, Lagalot, and several others with relative ease. So good job, Rock, coming back from his DC strong. Out of the Ford chicanes for the first time, with LSEM Lagalot on his tails. Ferrari versus Porsche. So let's jump back to Lagalot for a better camera angle. Coming into Dunlop for the second time. First time at speed, though. This is going to matriculate for a bit. So, certainly in a few laps this might change, but it might not. We'll find out. Rock. Hillbilly's smoking. Not sure if he may have grabbed the handbrake by accident or something there. Very bizarre. And it looks like the Rizla shot Ferrari is going to try to make a move on the inside of Rockbo here. Coming into Ralentisseur, the first chicane. Forgive my horrible French. And the Ferrari has taken the position. Well done by Sir Lagalot. And up at the front, GG Racing has fallen behind Diablo. So a little bit of a negative for him at the start of the stint. Diablo's still trying to dig himself out of the hole that was dug by his teammates, sadly, myself included. Oh, the 999 laps on the ticker is a glitch. I'll get rid of that in a second. Whoa, GG almost bending it there. Good save, good save. We'll change this back to distance gaps. There we go. So now it'll actually make sense. So it's GG chasing Diablo in the Peugeot. Gonna try to stick it up the inside into the Porsche curves. That's ill-advised, but still valid. You can see the R15 just dancing around for the aero wash off the back. Very, very sketch. Coming into the exit of the Porsche curves, and it looks like there's a car stopped somewhere on the back straight. That's going to be SSR Marshmallow, so something has happened to him in a bad way. Alright, that might have actually been a pit stop, because it doesn't look like he has any damage. So some strange strategy from the SSR car. Maybe just trying to get out of danger, or maybe just having an issue. Maybe his controller died or something. Who knows? We'll see if anything weird happens with this car in a moment's time. Just give him a chance to get back up to speed. So you can see now on the map that there is 2 distinct groups of LMP1 cars forming. There's a group in the front comprising of Harmonic, GG, and Diablo, with Butler trailing behind, and then Eclipse, Inc., and Aldecar off the back. So we'll probably see this elongate into a bit of a follow the dots train here in a few laps. And that said, let's take you back to a battle we haven't shown too much near the back of the GTE field. It's going to be Incinerate chasing down Zombie Gutkill. We just heard from him in stint number 7, explaining his mysterious lag out. Hopefully that does not happen again. He's driving for SSR. See the SVR hammer painted Viper chasing down Ferrari. Right, I'm feeling a little bit lonely in the comms booth here. Anybody want to come in and say hello? Anybody? Let's move up a couple of positions to some more battles. We got Hillbilly here chasing Rockbow in the SFM Pegasus car. They're trying to recover from that disconnect, which also happened to be from Rockbow. The 3 laps on the ticker is a graphical bug. We have no way of controlling that. It's just a thing that exists. Just ignore it. Thank you for your patience. Hello to Cessna Zaskar Cup Series. Not sure what that is, but cool. Hi. Continuing up through the GT field as we go through the second chicane. Ballistic is still attempting to hang on to the back of the Aston Martins in the beautiful M3, painted by Phoenix of RZM, which used to be Aerox, which used to be FTR. Buster, this is stint number 8. If you look at the scrolling bottom bar, it will say that. So Ballistic trying to bring the RZM car back into contention. I think it was Breeze that was just driving it, being squeaky clean. Not willing to take any risks, very commendable. Ballistic going to try to reel him in. So this is the battle for 5th and LMP1 between TLR Eclipse and SSR Inc., both of whose gamer tags would be immensely more entertaining at night because of the jokes about inky blackness and Eclipse of the light, but that has now passed. This stint is projected to end at approximately 2 a.m. US Eastern Time, which is 7 a.m. British Summer Time. Depending on where you are, one of those will be more helpful than the other. Which brings us to one of our funny jokes on SFM Official. The stewards are asleep, please send coffee. Because God knows we need the coffee. So much coffee. So these are 2 of the R15s. The SSR car in 5th position was driven by the Real Fun For Us 4, who was hanging on to Diablo like his life depended on it. Pretty good effort. Not sure if it's going to be fruitioned here, but they are not going to give up. That's one of the great things about these races. You'll see a lot of drivers who fall back a little bit, but they keep digging, they keep trying, because just completing the race in its own is just part of the fun. Whoa, big wiggle from Eclipse there. Still trying to get control of that car. And that's going to let Aldecar catch up a little bit behind these 2. We haven't seen Aldecar much on camera, or this car at all really. Boost was in it earlier. Beautiful wins, throwback, and Lyceum. Nice and composed in the Peugeot, very nice purple. Mayhem wants to assess the broadcasters a 15,000-foot penalty. I'm not sure how that would be applied, but I'd be very sad if somebody figured it out because, you know, it's just mean. In GTE, the battle is still between the 2 Aston Martins. We have Zoom and Roadrunner. Still nose to tail. Nothing between them. It's been like this for the last several stints. There's only about a half mile between these 2 cars. it's probably going to continue to be that way through the night as we get into morning hours. Remember, this race is based off of American time, so we're in the morning. I just said that backwards. This race is based off of European time, so this would be like, imagine this is sunrise time. That's what you're effectively seeing at this point. Tired brain. Alright, so the JSR car now moving to the outside of the SVR but Williams entry. See who's going to be braver into Mulsanne Corner. Well, it looks like the JSR car is going to run off the track, so he's going to yield that position back to Roadrunner. Oh, and he almost loses it. Good save. Excellent save there. Those curbs do not play nice if you hit them at weird angles. Apparently somebody in Lobby C fell asleep waiting for the race to begin, so he missed the stint. Can we get some Fs to pay respects here? Because that's just unfortunate. One of the McLeod cars. Thank you for your participation. Alright, so it's getting pretty late at night. We are just kind of in a holding pattern here at the moment. Why don't we play some trivia with chat? I see this could be pretty fun. So we're at the 24 Hours Le Mans, the racetrack for that race, the Circuit de la Sarthe. Let's think. But what changes have been made to the Mulsanne straight on the back of the circuit? That's the straight with the two chicanes now. How did that used to be? What was changed? Yes, Julian, this will be saved. And we'll also be putting it on YouTube. Does anybody know what it used to be? And Roadrunner just ceded the position because he ran off the track there. So there were a couple of really huge changes on this back straight that we're on now. You guys should be able to figure out one of them relatively easily. The second one might be a little more difficult. Buster, you are correct. The Merc did go flying coming out of Tetra Rouge. Europa saying it used to be not as flat. That is absolutely correct. The circuit used to have two enormous crests in it because that's how the road was made by the French government. And those were removed following the death of Sebastian and Holross when his body work detached and when the Mercedes launched into the trees. So those are gone. And what's the other big change in addition to the reprofiling? Correct. There used to be no chicanes, so there was a team called Welter Engineering that made a car called Project 400. They got up to 400 kilometers an hour, which I think is like 258 miles an hour. Pretty ridiculous, very unsafe, and that's why we have chicanes. It was either put the chicanes in or stop racing here forever. And as we're still racing Le Mans, the chicanes are in place. Vettel correcting me, it's 248 miles per hour, not 258. So, yeah. Project 400. Pretty cool. Why is the Indianapolis corner named Indianapolis? Let's see if anybody can figure it out by the time we get there. Riding on board with Hillbilly in the Beast Mode car, painted by BM Sunshine. So why is Indianapolis called Indianapolis? We're going through Indianapolis now. And does anybody know the answer? Let's hear some guesses. Alright, the answer is because that corner used to be paved with bricks from the original paving of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which are now buried under the corner. Requires the little bit of refilling with some concrete every couple of years, but it's a really cool part of racing heritage to have one part of the legendary circuit under another part of the legendary circuit. And we're going to bump up to Scottson here, or Harmonic, excuse me, as he's going to start sighting through the back of the GTE field. Yeah, Buster, really, there are Indianapolis bricks buried under Indianapolis corner. Let's see how Scott goes through the 4 chicanes here. Not Scott, excuse me, he's in chat. This is Harmonic. That was less than a good line. Bit of a cut through there. He's going to start passing some of these GT cars. There's SVR red. Now he's going to approach what looks like SVR orange. And SSR, one of them. Orange is jumping out of the way there. You guys in chat discussing the speed record. I believe that was a modified Peugeot 905 1C, right? The P88, I want to say. The Welter cars. So Scott just, I'm going to keep saying this all night. Harmonic just easily getting through the traffic here. Diablo, about 1,000 feet behind, also probably getting through with minimal difficulties. It's not exactly difficult on the straights. 3 wide, hello, into the braking zone. No drama there. And Diablo's through. Okay, what racing driver has the most starts at the Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans races? There'll be 2 hints. It's a man, and he's old. What driver has the most starts at Le Mans? Alright, Diablo making his way through some more GT traffic here in the second chicane. There's going to be a whole gaggle of cars coming through. We'll jump back to GG. Venom, it's not Pastor Maldonado, because he's neither old, nor has he raced at Le Mans more than a handful of times. Man, look at all these GTs, there's so many! Guess from Vettel, Tom Christensen, that is also not correct. Try again. It's not Lance Stroll either, he's only 20-something years old. Thank you for your joke answers. So we've heard Pastor Maldonado, Tom Christensen, Lance Stroll. None of those are correct. I'll give you guys another hint, it's a French driver. Guess from Hulk and Mario Andretti, that is also not correct. Going into Indianapolis with GG here. Hard on the brakes, a bit cautious, tries to avoid the LCM car, does so, very good. Simon Pagenaud, incorrect. The answer is Henri Pescarolo, the same person who started the Pescarolo Motor Company, which has been purchased by Onroc Automotive and rebranded as Ligier. Bit of French racing history for you. So up at the front of GT right now, it is still Roadrunner and Zoom battling back and forth. One takes, one gives. Just a little bit give and take here. coming out of the Porsche curves, and some massive understeer throws Zoom off the track. If he does that again, he's going to be flirting with the stewards. At some point, these guys are going to start braking into the pit lane. You're going to be seeing them pulling off and diving in. Alright, so let's think of some more Le Mans trivia. Which year of Le Mans had the most cars start the race? Oh, come on, Zoom. What are you doing? So, which Le Mans year had the most entries? Calendar year. See GG come through here. Easily just Zoom. Come on, buddy, stay on the track. Guesses are 1956, 1998, and 1929, of which all are wrong. Think a little bit more modern, guys. Just a little bit. The answer is 2019. We had 61 starters of 62 entries. One of the Proton Racing Porsches for Tracy Chrome was withdrawn after he crashed in practice and was ruled unfit to race. So 2019, 61 starters of 62 entries. Pretty crazy stuff. We're going to jump back to Turismo 83, battling Zombie Gutkill in the SSR Ferrari. Let's see how the Porsche does. We saw a lot of speed out of this car earlier from Chasmo and Mashi's. Unfortunately, oh, Turismo, that was not on track. You should give that back, City Goose. Not the best pass in the world. Alright, let's do another piece of trivia. Which Formula 1 driver has the highest win percentage at the Circuit de la Sarthe that has started more than one race? AMR Aqua is in 4th position. Europa, you've got it. It's Fernando Alonso. Perfect 100% win rate from 2 consecutive starts for Toyota Gazoo Racing. So it looks like Turismo has redressed that off-track overtake finally. Nice battling here going into the Porsche curves. Alright, question from Scottson for trivia this time. Which car entered at Le Mans has the most laps completed in a single race, as in which car set the overall distance record? You can probably guess its prototype, but this shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Ooh, SVR orange out of nowhere. Incinerate. Europa's got it. It's the Audi R15. I think that was set in the 2011 race, I want to say. So we got Incinerate, Turismo, and Zombie Gutkill here, all fighting for position. Remember, Turismo's car should probably be a little bit farther up the road than it is now, but that'll cycle through on pit stops. And Williams Roadrunner has yet to make a pit stop in this cycle. Vettel, you might be right, it was 2010 or 2011, either one of those. early 2010s. Whoa, big wiggle there from Incinerate. Very unsettled behind the Porsche. Good morning, Nelly. Nice drag race going on between the Viper and the Porsche. Viper has hit its top speed. Scott, you are correct. There was an R15 and an R18 in the same race, 2 of each, I think. Ooh, a little bit of a tap there. Good recovery. I think things are spicing up a little bit in LMP1. Looks like Diablo might actually be gaining in slightly on the ailing harmonic. He's still fighting illness from earlier today. Hopefully that fades away overnight. He could be up and at it in the morning. And is that a stopped car? No, it's... okay, he's moving again. So Ink had some sort of drama there. Not sure when. Venom Zoom is going to be the leader after the pit cycle finishes, but for now he's in 5th. Because Roadrunner hasn't pitted, nor has Zombie Gutkill, Turismo, Incinerate, or Spartan. So you can see Zoom here in his own little world, having pitted just a couple of laps ago. Cessna, the answer to how many drivers are entered into this race can be found on the entry list, which I have now opened, and it is 288 across 62 teams, so that's 288 unique people entered into the same race. And if you think that's hard to administrate, you're absolutely correct. It's a nightmare to administrate. There's so many people. So many. So we're probably going to see a bunch of pit stops happening in just a moment. I think TLR Eclipse... okay, they're not pitting. So let's see if Roadrunner's going to dive into the pits this time. I think it would make logical sense for him to do so. He's getting close to the time where you'd want to start pitting. We'll be able to see it in just a second here if he does dive in. If he does, he's going to peel off to the right about now. There he goes. Hard on the brakes. Stay to the right and cut across a little bit. Back to the right. And full throttle into the pit lane. So that's Roadrunner in the pits. And now we see if Zombie Gutkill will follow him in. Now, if I'm Zombie, I'm going to stay out to try to get in front of Roadrunner just to slow him down, help out my teammates. But we'll see. He's going to stay out. Going into the pits is Turismo in the ESV Porsche. Whoa! And he's totally missed the entry. Just missed his brake point. He's going to get it out of the tire wall and get back onto the entrance. So no penalty for that because he did take it correctly-ish. Ballistic, I think, is going to stay out. And I think Sir Lagalot may have gone in. No, staying out. Just trying to figure out what's going on here, everybody. Not many takers this time around. I'm a little surprised. Question for trivia from Scottson. What is special about a Le Mans winner in the 90s? You have to be a little bit more specific about that, Scott, because there's a lot of winners in the 90s. So, Scott, if you'd be so kind as to rephrase your question, that would be awesome. 1993 or 1994? You know, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but let's jump back to the GT battle while I try to figure that out. It's going to be Roadrunner and Zoom, so that has flipped. So Zoom is your leader on the road. Good stuff. I legitimately don't know. That's unusual for me. So it looks like Roadrunner is getting a bit of a better run through these chicanes than Zoom, but Zoom is still getting a little bit more pace, which is odd. And I think I may know the answer to Scott's question. Is it that Hurley Haywood is the oldest winner at Le Mans? Ah, yes, the Dower 962. The Group C car that was actually a GT1 car because of some rules trickery and some blinkers, and that was just really strange. It's the Dower 962. Good piece of trivia there. So just saw Roadrunner go off the track because he locked up. He lost a ton of time. And I think Spartan Fit is here because he's off pit cycle, and he is way off pit cycle. He should be pitting any second now. Maybe he's just trying to see if he can change his line to keep up a little bit better with these guys in front. We see this happen pretty often in these races. Drivers will try to find a carrot on a stick to chase. It's a really good strategy, especially if you know you're going to be a little behind anyway. So props to SVR Red for trying something different. You can see Roadrunner and Zoom just gone. Ooh, flirting with being an extension there. Oh, barely on the white lines from Zoom. Guys, I know you want to win, but play it safe. Don't risk a penalty. Oh, that was sloppy from Roadrunner. If anybody wants us to check on a specific driver, let me know and we'll try to check him out. Snalf, my friend, is your dinner gone at this point in time? Or are you still enjoying your nice hamburger? Alright, well it looks like Roadrunner has lost some distance now to Zoom, who's checked out. About a 100-foot lead right now. Request to see where AMR Aqua's at. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9th position right now. I think we're in the middle of a pit cycle though, so that's not exactly an accurate representation of where he is. Okay, what is the loudest car to ever race at Le Mans? Loudest race car to race at Le Mans since they recorded noise levels. "787B" Scottson is correct. The car was so loud it actually damaged a driver's hearing to the point where he couldn't race anymore because he went and did a full stint without earplugs. Very, very dangerous. Generally frowned upon if you can't hear on a racetrack, because you need to hear if your car is making weird noises. See a bit of a lockup from Rockbo there, chasing down the SSR car. I think that's Zombie. Good save from the young American. Whoa! Nice pass from Rockbow, taking advantage of the Ferrari running a little bit wide. Great move. Commentator's bias showing here. At the back of the LMP field, we have TLR Eclipse hunting down LSEM Aldacar. I think I'm saying that right. See if Aldacar is on the same fit cycle. He is. So this is a battle for position, so Eclipse has had some sort of an issue recently to fall back. You can see the Audi just faster, and there's SSR Inc. as well. So 5, 6, 7 reasonably close together. Scott's and the answer is yes. Herbert was dehydrated significantly after subbing in for Walter Volker, I think it was. So riding on board with LSEM Aldacar. I believe he used to be the team leader before Butler was brought in. I think Aldacar had some family matters to attend to, so good to see a veteran back in the game. But up at the front, it is still LMR Harmonic in the ESV #1 Porsche. Maintaining one of the smallest gaps we've seen at the front of a class in LMP this so far, over LZR Diablo. I'll be taking over this car next stint for 4 hours, from 2 to 6 a.m. Sad now. LSEM the Butler in 3rd position, driving for LSEM Team Scrubsgar Racing. Peugeot HDI FAP. AMS GG Racing in the 4th spot. Back to 5th, SSR Inc. A little bit of ways back. In the 6th position, LSEM Aldacar. Beautiful paints on these cars. In 7th, TLR Eclipse, having some troubles. Leading GTE, we have Sauber Zoom. And immediately behind him is Williams Roadrunner. Just look at how close these two are still. It's incredible. In the 3rd position in GTE is GRT Ballistic, driving for RZM instead of the GRT team, which is also entered. LSEM Sir Lagalot is in 4th, driving the 53. Hillbilly Texas for SSR, next up on track. Rockbow 25 for SFM Pegasus in his final stint of the race, I think. AMR Aqua, next up in Hulk's beautiful surf chillaxing car. Zombie Got Killed, driving for SSR in the 67. SVR Incinerate, big shout out to him for helping to host on short notice, much appreciated. Behind him, SVR Spartan Fit for SVR Red, not too far behind his teammate, only a couple hundred feet. Turismo 83, I believe he is off pit cycle now, as we see Diablo coming through. VTX Gashley missed the previous stint, is now back in game, but some distance back. SSR Marshmallow, bringing up the rear of this stint. So we've got 20 race cars for you right now. Bit of a lockup from the Porsche. Oh, look at those rotors glowing, I love it. And we're going to jump back up to Diablo, see how he handles this traffic going through the various corners on this track. Jumping around the outside of Aqua, that's a high-risk move. Kind of trust the GT car to hold their line. Looks like Aqua did it. He's going to have to try to dispatch Rockbow, who should just hop out of the way, stay to the left. Very good. And then it's up to the BM car. Easily flies by. Smooth sailing ahead up to Harmonic, who is himself trying to get around some traffic in the Porsche curves. See the the number 53, I believe it is there. Ooh, he got slowed down big time there. Diablo will love that. If we look back, you might be able to see Diablo just coming out of the Porsche curves. Just barely. Cessna asking if the lobby restarts between stints. The answer is yes. We don't have a way of live swapping everybody, so we have to switch it manually. So if anybody in chat would like to hop in for a quick chat in the verbal variety, just let me know and we'll get you guys in. Got room for one more in our little group chat here. It looks like Harmonic is going to be catching the GT battle any second now. Roadrunner almost crashing into the tire wall. You'll see that Peugeot coming out of the chicane any second now. You can barely see the headlights. A wild Ben has appeared. Hello, Ben.
Hello. It is 1:03 a.m.
It is. Do you know where your children are?
I certainly hope I do. I don't have any children.
Good answer. So, for those of you who do not know, AX4X Big Ben is the Vice President of TORA. And
The very exclusive prize Vice President of TORA.
yes, one of the lead organizers of this race here. So, Ben, did you enjoy your nice long nap there? 4-hour nap?
Oh yeah, I always slept.
As is tradition.
I'm
What?
also going to be trying to talk very quietly because, again, it's 1:03 a.m. and I don't live alone.
Yeah. Well, not all of us are as fortunate to live above their parents' garage in a sealed room like I am, so I can talk at full volume. So if you're just catching up, we're riding on board with Williams Roadrunner as he tries to chase down Sauber Zoom for the lead in GTE. We're approximately halfway through the stint, probably a little bit less. This is stint 8 of 12.
Are these cars still ridiculously close?
Yeah, it's been like this all night. It's insane.
Okay.
Whoa, big wreck. Almost. Zoom hit the wall. Diablo coming through. You probably just nerf batted over the curb there. The next stint will be starting at approximately 2 a.m. U.S. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 7 a.m. British Summer Time. So in about an hour. And I will be double stinting the next two. Graveyard shift, 2 to 6 a.m., so Snauf will be taking back over for those stints. And then one of us will be here for stint 11, and then it's back to YNTV for stint number 12, Ali Ox, and THR Flip Mode.
With less barbecue.
Yeah. If you're wondering what that's a reference to, Ali Tack of YNTV thought his PC was on fire. Turns out somebody was barbecuing outside of his window, but his PC was overheating anyway. So they had to end stint stream a little bit early, and that's what happened with that. But this battle between the purple Aston and the yellow-green Aston has been going on all day. And depending on who's in the blue Aston, they've been in the fight or they've not been in the fight. In this stint, they're a little bit behind. Some other stints, they were right up there. Just depends on the driver. But right now, you're on board with AMR Aqua chasing down Rockbo in the SFM Pegasus car. Rock DC'd last stint. This stint, he is apparently still in. Cross your fingers. And he's going in the pits. So Rock is pitting. Oh, there's been a crash in the pit entrance. Hillbilly Texas has wrecked. Rock is going to almost half spin him as his car gets slowed down by the Forza mechanic thing. We saw that in Le Mans Esports, didn't we, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, with
You have to be careful with this pit entrance here.
yeah, I think it was a
It's
team.
trickier than people think.
I think it was Team Advocatus Diaboli that crashed in the approach and somebody ran into him. Really strange and uncommon incident, but it can happen.
If I remember correctly, on Le Mans last year, one of the vets broke down in the potential. Well,
That's just unfortunate.
Yes, vets and issues at Le Mans, naming our iconic duo.
Ben, is
my teammates are bugging out. That's pretty good.
Is TLP Staliono in your car?
He's not. He's in the old guard.
Apparently he no-showed.
Oh, fun.
Yep. So that happened.
Yep. And my teammate, MRN Drifter, blacked out with Stint 6 in the first lap.
Awesome, awesome.
So there goes the Allied Forces GT effort there.
Sometimes it really do be like that. Alright, so Roadrunner and Zoom are off cycle right now with the pits. That's why they're so far ahead. You're riding on board right now with SSR Marshmallow and SVR Spartan Fit. A bitter battle for position. Whoa, contact! The Corvette's going to argy-bargy through. You know, that reminds me of that reminds me of a certain Laguna Seca race with Jorg Bergmeister and I think Jan Magnussen. Ended with a Corvette smashed into a wall. American Le Mans Series.
Or, as I like to call it, Porsches and wrecking Corvettes, name a more iconic duo.
So this back three battle has been marinating for about an hour so far. It's been SSR Inc., TLR Eclipse, and LSM Altacar. We saw the SSR prototype chasing Diablo last stint. Not so much right now. Still doing a respectable pace, but farther back than they would like to be. If you look at the map, you can see they're about a third of a lap behind. Thank you, Norbert, for appreciating my references. I'm glad somebody does. So this battle, Eclipse, Altacar, and Inc. It's going to keep going for probably the whole race. They seem to be about the same pace as each other. It's just a matter of consistency and pit cycle. So right now, Altacar is the front runner of the back runners.
I understand from TLR Law, Eclipse's teammate, that Eclipse is pretty consistent in the 20s. So it is consistency that will win races.
So a couple seconds off the ultimate pace of the cars, but still within striking distance. And I believe the great Snuffleupagus has returned. Hello there.
You know, I changed my mind. I didn't get a burger. I got Chinese food, and it had a fortune where it said, "People are thrilled by your company." So please tell me that's true.
Anyway, the race.
Thank you guys. Love you too.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Also, Ben, I'm assuming you'd like to actually see what you're looking at, wouldn't you? Or see what we're talking about. There you go.
Not really.
Okay.
I'm about to go warm up a little bit since it's getting an hour and I haven't driven all day.
Yeah, should probably do some warm up then. Alright, well, we just saw Sal resume make a pit stop. Roadrunner now off cycle in front, about to get swallowed up by some LMP1 cars. I see no way this could possibly go wrong.
That he means it can go wrong in multiple.
Exactly. You're learning. Thank you so much.
So, Darkster, for me and everybody else who may have missed the last hour and a bit, what have we missed?
You missed a lot of traffic knife cutting by Harmonic, some battling between Zoom and Roadrunner, some battling between every other GT with at least one other GT, and a very clumsy pit lane crash involving Rockbow and one of the Corvettes who wrecked in front of him.
Oh.
Yeah. No damage, as far as I'm aware, but there was some sadness.
There was pit lane, so magic fix.
Yeah. Whoa! Big wiggle from Aldecar there. SSR Inc. looking to capitalize upon that. This Audi is going to pull coming out of Arnage. You can see that gap coming down after it extends, kind of like a big old slinky. Another wiggle from Aldecar. His car is not happy when it gets a wheel off, is it?
No, it may just be the setup that you have to run on that Audi to make it.
Aldecar's off in the gravel.
Well, that was unexpected.
Yeah. Here comes Eclipse, gonna make the easy pass off track. Normally that wouldn't fly, but since Aldecar was actively crashing still, probably let it slide.
Actively crashing, huh?
Yeah, that's a throwback to a 2CV race that we don't speak of.
Spoiler alert, it was Darkster who was actively crashing.
It was. And that's how SFM Varus came to join SFM, because I crashed him. A match made in hell. So up front, still Harmonic trying to chase down, or trying to avoid getting chased down by Diablo. Doing extremely well to hang on to the second fastest driver in the race right now. Fastest being Scottson. And it looks like Roadrunner is now in the pit lane, or coming out of the pit lane, I should say. So we're going to switch back to Sauber Zoom to see where they come out. It's going to be really close. And where is Roadrunner? Zoom got around him. So Zoom is back in front, a couple of laps, a couple of car lengths ahead of Roadrunner. Not by much.
I've seen a question in chat, speaking of how far ahead is somebody. Martin wants to know how far ahead ESV is in total. Hold on to your butts, because according to live timing, as of the end of the last stint, the elusive Peugeot Sport PlayStation 908 HDI FAP #1 defending champion car was 19, going on 20 miles clear of second place.
In news, this is as bad as no one.
It shouldn't, but it's still just an absurd number.
That's a lot.
More than 2, going on 3 laps. That's Toyota versus privateer territory.
Well, that is essentially what's happening here. We have a bunch of really competent, competitive teams, and then we have the best team.
Meanwhile, in GTE,
yeah,
they're only separated by
quarter mile.
Yeah.
SVR Purple, 1483.57. JSR Jota, 1483.25. And then AMR Nesper 1 lap behind. It's anyone's game still. Pretty crazy stuff.
Vettel in the chat calling for a mercy rule of some sort. It's, I won't begrudge anyone a lead like that, because everybody knows anything can go wrong at any time. So, keep pushing. Dig out as much of a lead as you can.
Yeah, there's really no reason to do anything else other than maximum attack at this point in the race. Just go for it.
Although it makes me start to wonder, Ben, if you're still in here, do you know what the distance record is for the TORA 24-hour launch? Of course, the car builds are different, but there was one not too long ago that used these same LMP builds, was there not?
No.
No? I could have sworn. What race
No,
was it that used the? Really?
Le Mans have been the modern prototypes.
Oh dang.
TORA hasn't used these prototypes since they were the current gen prototypes. So 2014, 2015, right at that. 2013, right in that area.
Trying to switch it up this year with totally different cars for each endurance race, just to keep teams on their toes. And, you know, JSR has a chance to say that they've won every endurance race thus far this year, at least in one class. Suomi took the Indy 500, Raceboy, Craviator, etc. took Daytona in GT. Sebring was won by JSR in both classes. They're not messing around this year.
No, they are not.
Looks like SSR Inc. has made a pit stop, where Aldicar and Eclipse have not. Diablo going to be making his way through a ton of traffic here into the Porsche curves. This should be exciting. Let's ride on board the LZR driver, filling in for SFM. Just look at the closing speeds of these cars. You'll see that GT there. I think it's SVR red, just going to get swallowed up by the R15. Excuse me, that's Team VTX. Looks similar from behind. Going to go around. Oh my god, Diablo! Going around the Porsche, who failed to hold a line.
So Buster32 had an interesting proposal in the chat. I'm sure that the planning for the next Enduro is most likely already underway because TORA is notorious for working on things in secret far in advance. That's a heck of an idea, if I might say so myself.
I know something you don't know. I know something you don't know.
Yeah, the idea from Buster, early 2000 style cars like the E46, Porsche 996, etc. Scottson suggesting F333 SP versus V12 LMR.
Ooh, that would be spicy, and it would sound fantastic.
Those
There's
are both
a 24-hour eargasm.
Snuff. They're
Sorry.
children.
We're all children. We're playing a game.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Audi R8 versus Bentley, that would be nice, but is the Bentley...
It is not.
Nor is the Audi R8.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a brilliant idea, Vettel. Why don't you write to Turn 10 and tell us to give us the darn cars?
Yeah. Licensing!
Oh, man.
That was hilarious.
I mean, it's a great idea. Both of those are good. All three, I mean, because E46 versus 996 versus Viper would be not too far removed from like a late 90s Grand Am sort of race, which is fun.
Yeah, it'd be lots of fun.
Of course, the Ferrari versus the BMW V12 would be also. I mean, the late 90s was and the early 2000s was, I think, one of the best times for sports car racing. Right now, it's a fantastic era as well. But that particular vintage, maybe it's just because that was when I was a young lad and I had posters of them on my wall. But I remember that very fondly.
Whew, big wiggle from Diablo there into Indianapolis. You know, if you guys look at the map, you'll see that Diablo is closer to the ESV car than anybody has been at this point in the stint before. He's not that far back, only a few seconds. Jump up to Harmonic. You do see, it's really only less than 10 seconds between these two drivers. Two of the best in the Forza community. LMR, Harmonic, LZR, Diablo. Coming up to put another lap on Ballistic. Here goes.
Yeah, so people are talking about the Mazda Furai in chat. That car would be very difficult for them to laser scan these days. Mostly because it caught on fire and burned to the ground.
Yeah, Top Gear killed the Furai.
So, you know, we've complained about Forza recycling car models at some points, but they would have no option other than to recycle the old one for that one, because it doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
I cry every time.
Hashtag Jeremy Clarkson.
Clarkson!
But sometimes it be that.
It really do be like that occasionally.
Okay, I really need to stop hanging out with you guys because I start picking up your phrases.
You're picking up our vernacular, Benjamin. Vernacular, to use the word that actually exists.
You know, that reference is gonna whoosh the heck out of me.
It's not a reference, it's just a terrible New York accent.
Oh. That explains why I got whooshed.
Yeah. Alright.
Whoosh, son.
Snuff, are you doing any more driving this evening, or are you done?
No, unless somebody else doesn't wake up in time for an early morning stint, I think I am done. One of my stints I gave to Drifting Hero, because he only had the one, said he was available for more, wanted to run more, and I said, yeah, you can have one of mine.
Rock, tragic lap, track extension there. Hate to see it.
Did he get on the sausage curbs? He did a bit.
Nah, he just went too wide. And then ran over the sausage curbs.
Well, at least in the GT cars, you have a bit of ride height, so if you do make a mistake and end up out there, it doesn't damage you too much, if at all.
That's how I murdered my car last stint.
Well, that's just why I said in the GT cars with the ride height.
Yes, it would help if my ears actually sent things to my brain instead of out the other ear.
It is that time of the night when your sensory functions cease to function.
Is it time to bring out some of those quotes while Ben is still here to appreciate them?
You know, it might be. I'm gonna save one for the end of this stint.
Mm-hmm. Good man, good man. Ben, you still with us?
I am.
Good.
You know, that wasn't a very convincing answer. Sound off like you got a pair!
Go team!
It's 1:24 a.m.
Yeah. And you slept. We haven't.
Not really.
You know, I just want to point out that from 13th on the road back to 19th on the road is like 5 seconds.
They are still all bunched up. The GT field, except for the front runners that have spaced themselves out a bit, is all packed up in that one straight between Indianapolis and Mulsanne.
We've got about a half hour left in this stint. Half hour or less. It never ends.
This is the race that will never end until approximately
10 a.m.
I feel like at this point of the night, I need a folding chair and a towel over my head and a cameraman in my face showing me asleep in a pit stall.
You have to go full Le Mans mechanic. Butler's in the pits. No, he's not. Diablo's in the pits. Final pit. Diablo on his way out of the pit lane, it looks like. GG Racing on his way into the pit lane. So that tells us there's about 1.5 miles between Diablo and GG.
Buster, Aqua is running, I believe, 14th on the track, which would make him 7th in GT? Yes.
Yeah, and he's going in the pits. Perfect timing.
As we see both Rock and Aqua take a very clean pit entry. Just about ideal.
Good stuff, good stuff. I think Gashley may be coming in as well. No, staying out.
So these will be their final stops, and after this, it's just a race to the timer.
Yep. Remember, all the lobbies are scored competitively against each other, so A lobby, B lobby, C lobby, all together. Hearing that we should be examining track limits on a certain couple of drivers. Not people who we've been criticizing previously for cutting. Just want to make that distinction. So you're on board with Rockbow and SFN Pegasus number 911, chasing down AMR Aqua in the... you know, what is the actual title of that car? I don't remember.
Aqua,
AMR and a spare.
Is AMR and a spare, yes.
Because it's AMR with South.
It's South, Cheetah, Lawrence, and Aqua, and Lucky 7.
Could you cut that any closer? My goodness.
Well, the rear view, or the little passenger side rear view mirror is still attached, so I suppose it wasn't quite that close.
Yeah. Hey guys, after all this time, look who's still close to each other. Roadrunner and Zoom.
You know, at this point, it's probably cheaper for them to get a 2-bedroom versus 2 separate 1-bedrooms, because they've just been living in the same house already.
Yeah, just make it official, common law.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's 2 people live together much more efficiently than 1.
Yeah. You can officiate that, right, Ben?
No.
No? Okay. Well, swing and a miss.
I have no credentials for that.
Ah, maybe someday.
This is another time for. This is discussion for another time.
Let's jump back to an intra-team battle for SVR. Okay, never mind, they're too far apart, so we'll jump back even farther to Rocco again. The only close on-track battle. Remember, these guys are ahead of pit cycle, so they're farther back than they actually are. Probably move up at least 4 or 5 spots on cycle. Looks like Butler has entered the pit lane, so Diablo will be retaking his rightful spot in the second position, and that means that LMR Harmonic has not made his pit stop. You can see on the map number 1 highlighted in blue. Back to number 2, Diablo should be much, much closer. So we'll check on the fuel load of Harmonic. 14%. He's going to either pit at the end of this lap or the next lap. Buster, the Porsche curves are called the Porsche curves because Porsche gives the circuit a lot of money to call them the Porsche curves.
They're also called the Porsche curves because that's the portion of the track where the Porsches are the worst.
You know, I don't think that actually is why, Snuff, but
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
your observational skills are peerless in that regard.
Well, it wasn't so much observation as my own hands going, turn, car, turn, and the car going,
No.
nah.
The car going what?
Alright, gentlemen, as exciting and fun as this is, nature calls, I shall return very shortly. In the meantime, we'll park you on the battle between Aqua and Rocco.
While he's doing that, I'm going to go figure out who I need to invite, / how far behind the lobby is running.
How did B-Lobby benefit at all from the reset between 6 and 7?
They are just 40 minutes into their stint,
Oh,
so that's no.
yeah, that's a no. Well, good luck.
They're half an hour. How are they half an hour behind already? I'm sure my teammates are still going. I had I don't think you were here for this. I had one teammate black out before the beginning of Stint 6, so I'm on the back foot.
Ah. Yeah, I don't think I was here for that.
Mm-hmm.
Without camera control, I'm afraid we can't do much but admire this livery on the AMR in a spare car, painted by Hulk, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's his trademark image there on the back bumper, and it's got a neat asymmetric flair to it, using the chrome base and layering over the top to really create one of the more distinctive cars in the field. Sure, some might be brighter colored, some might be historically accurate throwbacks, but none of them really have a sort of, heck, we threw some chrome on the side of the car and it looked good feel that this one has going on.
I mean, my car's metallic, so it's not chrome, but it's shiny.
One thing that I've heard some painters messing around with, and I don't know if anybody's actually implemented it for this race, was having a couple of different sets of paint. One for the start of the race, and one to switch to about halfway through that featured battle scars, a bit of gaffer tape, some broken bits, just to pretend like you actually had been on the track. And that's some of the creativity we like to see in this Forza community. It's a bit over the top, but I like over the top. It's fun. Have some fun with it. It's a game. So why not make it as interesting as you can? Giving you a bit of play-by-play while the camera is here and Darkster's away. Looks like Zoom leads from Roadrunner. They are still nose to tail, but they are in the pits. They'll be exiting here shortly. If I'm not mistaken, the gap between these two cars was just over 1/4 of a mile going into this stint, and so it's slowly being chipped away at, stint after stint, with Zoom leading from Roadrunner. That's going to mean that JSR, Joda, and Zoom team is going to close that gap down just a little bit more to SVR Purple, and this might go all the way down. Oh! As soon as I said that, they've both gone off! Zoom and Roadrunner both off at the exit of the... I'm sorry that we didn't capture that on camera for you, but I'm watching it in the spectate mode. Both Aston Martins went off onto the grass on the left side at the exit of the Dunlop S before Tete Rouge. Uncharacteristic mistakes from both of them, but that's let... I mean, I've done it again. I just said Zoom was going to chip away at the lead, but he's gone off, Roadrunner's gone off, Roadrunner's got back on before him, and Roadrunner's in the lead of the race in GT. How did these things always happen?
Why didn't you open your mouth?
Why do I say anything? I don't know.
For those who like to watch complaints, make sure to send your angry messages to SFM. TORA is affiliated with...
No, just send them to Darkster. Don't even bother sending them to the team. It's all Darkster's fault. He left, then it happened. That's the rule that we have with endurance races. When you watch a race like Le Mans or Daytona, if you leave the stream and the car dies, it is your fault. You have killed that car.
So if you ever killed the 64 Corvette, I have some work for you.
I don't know. We'd have to go back to the archives for that one. But it wasn't me. I saw that happen live.
I did too. I literally... You know the gif of Kevin McCard doing a double facepalm?
Yeah.
That's literally what I did.
Oh, that was a brutal accident. I mean, we can laugh about it because everybody's okay, but that was a hard wreck.
That was. So much for the safety area.
Mayhem, I hear you about changing cars. I can't do that right now because at this moment the stream is being run off of Darkster's PC, and I guess he doesn't trust me quite enough to give me remote access to his personal computer, which is completely understandable. As soon as he returns from his brief moment away, then I'm sure he will change that. Subi logic. We've repeated this a couple of times throughout the broadcast. If you see an incident that you think should be reported to the stewards, feel free to clip it and submit it yourself. Anybody, not just a competitor. This is kind of like the old PGA Tour used to be. If you see something on TV and you don't like the way it looks, send it in and let the stewards deal with it. Flying Scott, welcome back. Good morning. I guess I take it you are probably in Europe then. And it would sure be nice for it to be morning, because for me it's getting quite late at night indeed. But good morning to all of our European viewers and to our European competitors. Welcome back. If you took the night off, you've missed quite a bit. There's been some action, and there's been... How do I put this? There's been no shortage of action in the GT field, and there's been, frankly, expected, but even more than expected, dominance in the prototype field. If when you left, the gap at the front of the prototype was big, I'll guarantee you it is now bigger. In GT, however, the gaps have shrunk overnight for you in Europe, and it is very close at the front of GT. We would go to that battle, but like I said, we do not have control over the camera at this moment. I can tell you that as of just a few laps ago, that gap was coming down as AMR and a spare were ahead of the SVR purple car, featuring Williams Roadrunner this stint. However, they both went off the exit of the Dunlop S onto the grass on the left hand. Roadrunner recovered more quickly and retook the lead. So at this point, SVR purple is now extending their quarter of a mile lead over AMR and a spare. Third place in GT is, or excuse me, they're extending the lead over JSR Joda and Zoom. AMR and a spare is the car you are currently looking at. It's the AMR Aqua car. So I'm going to correct myself. I may have misspoke. The SVR Purple and the JSR Joda and Zoom car both went off at the exit of the Dunlop S. Scottson pulling an Ironman up at 7 a.m. with no sleep, and if I'm not mistaken, you're getting back in the car before too long. Am I right about that? Because it's like it's Harmonic, then Europa. Oh no, you got a couple of stints, and then you're doing 11. But you're not going to stay up the entire time.
I'm back.
Man. Welcome back, Dark.
Dark.
Yes.
Snuff curse did the commentators curse on drivers again?
Who was it this time?
Roadrunner.
No, I didn't curse Roadrunner. Roadrunner benefited from it this time.
Don't tell me Zoom crashed at Roadrunner Corner.
No, Zoom and Roadrunner both crashed at the same spot on the same lap, and Roadrunner recovered more quickly to take the lead.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I did the thing. Sue me.
Curse you.
Sue SFM instead. Take their assets. I don't have anything.
So, guys, I have returned with snacks and beverages because I have a 4-hour stint coming up.
Ooh, a double. Oh, baby, a double.
A double on no sleep.
Those always go well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we were following for a while the lead car in this mid-pack GT battle of Aqua ahead of Rockbow. I think switching to the battle for the lead of the GT class overall is probably a good plan, because people got tired of seeing that chrome Aston Martin after a while, but I can tell you that Aqua has run wide at Indianapolis Corner into the gravel and has finally given that spot to Rock, who's kept him under pressure for the better part of about 5 laps now. So well done to Rock to keep the pressure on and just force the small mistake, and he has gotten by. So for everyone in chat who was throwing up the 5K memes about Aqua's driving, looks like it may not have benefited him after all. So, interesting to hear some feedback in the chat. I'm hearing some people really dislike doubles. I know a couple of our teammates really dislike doubles. Dark, you don't seem to mind them so much.
Well, I actually really hate running doubles, but it needed to be done because nobody else was available then, so I'm just going to do it.
Oh. See, I actually like doubles, and I liked the triple too, because if you get into a rhythm at the start, it's hard for me to actually get out, take a break, decompress, and then get back to that pace again.
Sorry to interrupt, but we just saw Aqua run into the side of Rock, back off, let him go away. That was fine. So, I hate double stuff, but I wouldn't mind a triple.
That is bizarre and backwards.
Welcome to my life. So, dear viewers, we're going to have to do another hardware switch in a few minutes because I actually have to host Stint 9, in addition to running double in 9 and 10. So you might see a black screen for just a couple of seconds, but you won't miss any of the action because we plan ahead for these things. Okay, make sure to let you know when we're going to do that.
Well, if you go back to the front, Dark, there has been a pass for position, and so I believe Zoom has overcome the commentator's curse. Zoom is more powerful than even my devil magic.
Oh my god.
Back ahead of Williams Roadrunner.
That's some black magic effery right there.
If any of you have left your stream on, or if you have an image burned into your CRT monitor from 1987 of a yellow Aston and a purple Aston, do not adjust your sets. Nothing is wrong with it. This has been the race. Right from the word go, from the drop of the green flag, these two cars have been separated by, well, approximately this much. Mostly nothing. And it has been spectacular. Absolutely brilliant GT racing.
And we're going to cut away from it for approximately 5 to 30 seconds while we switch hardware. So your screen may go black. You may see a lovely little Sebring poster, which we have forgotten to switch for 3 months. Just bear with us while we get that done. So Snuff, you ready?
I am ready.
Alright, shutting down in 3, 2, 1.